Hello world! WayofTime here, bringing to you another episode of EEPower. So, where we left off, we had our nice little containment unit for everything that we have right here. So, containing our deployer, so that we'll be able to put the, filter for the buckets. The buckets will go in. Hopefully, we'll be able to get a good setup to get that working. Now, what I'm thinking of doing is actually put an item detector to tell when it's going, like when there's buckets of water in there, and that will at least tell us, I don't want the timer to go on indefinitely because that would be annoying. So maybe some sort of timer that would detect when each and every single thing is going. But eventually we're going to want to expand this so that it's multiple systems, so that won't necessarily be the best method indefinitely. So we'll have to think of a few ways to do that in the future. Let's put our iron blocks iron ore into the grinder, get that grinding away, and at least it'll work for now. We're going to have to think of the future eventually, but funnily enough, we are not in the future yet, so I think we're going to be good for now. But just in case, this system I think we're going to have working for a bit longer than just a little while, so having it working for a small system should be the same way for a large system, seeing as it should be able to be used in both. Anyway, we're going to need to make a few red doped wafers. We already had red doped wafers. Dope! Okay, get these back, and what's going to be needed? We're going to need a pressure plate, some wood, and a little extras. So do we have any tubes currently in our possession? No, we do not. So we're going to need to make one bit of tubes. One bit of tubes. Here we go. Actually, let's make a few more of those since, no, we don't have any. Okay, good. So tubes up here, pressure plate here, and we're going to, tube isn't there. We need the brass here, and this over here, wood bottom, and one more tube so that we can detect. So let's get our detector down and get it situated so that it'll be able to detect when there is a water bucket in our system. So detector will go here, I think. Yeah, it's going to need to go here. Sorry, we need to detect when there's a normal bucket in our system. That's a bit better than the other one. So I think we do have some buckets here. We can use that. Throw our bucket in here, and let's see, I think it's like this. Item detector, detect when there is bucket. So we're going to need to check a few different ways to see how well this works. So put this here so that we'll keep it ticking and get it so that we'll be able to have a bucket. So we need to detect when there is at least one bucket. Nope. Maybe if I look at Elaram, how she has it, I might be able to more accurately tell when or how this actually works. Maybe there needs to be a number of buckets. Maybe it needs to show that there's water buckets. I'm not too sure. Oh, another thing is that an infinite water spring does not one block make. So we're going to we should actually be a little smart and use some nice fancy blocks in the meantime. Well, fancier than cobblestone, because cobblestone is definitely not fancy. We will want fancy. Speaking about wanting, we will get this. Let's get rid of the sludge, fill up our water buckets, and then at least see if it's working to an extent. Nice little silver wood sapling, and apparently the silver woods that I cut down were, the one that I cut down was actually someone else's. Condrick actually planted it for shadow, but he has since gone out on an expedition to find more. So nothing bad, and he also gave me another silverwood sapling, which is now currently planted over there. So sorry again, I already apologized to him, but I still want to get that out of the way. I am very, very bad. So this item detector currently isn't doing squat for us, so we're going to want to have it doing a bit more. And in the meantime, also, we're going to want to get this sludge to go somewhere. And Condrick, was that you? Okay, did anyone else hear lightning? I have no clue what that was or why that was there, but I don't really want to find out right now. So, this is awkward. Not really, but let's see. Now, how did I have this lesson before? It would pull items out and all the water buckets and the sludge would be taken out, but then this tube will need to go somewhere else. This, yes, it needs to go and get, also, not the induction smelted, but it needs to get smelted into the other machine that we have. Okay. I'd hate to see what happens when his node gets a lot angry, because that would be very, very bad. Maybe it's a node near mine. I wouldn't be able to tell, seeing as I don't have the goggles of revealing currently. I haven't gotten to that stage of research. Heck, I haven't even got those nice fancy little compass things, which would be very nice. I should probably get on that. Hey, I can't click anything. Okay, I'm gonna have to be right back. Okay, we're back. We managed to fix that little issue that we were having. Apparently, I needed some inventory in my area to actually shift-click, and it seems like it's stuck on shift-click for some reason. Yeah, it is stuck on shift-click. Why is that? I have no clue. So that means we won't be able to craft anything if that's the case. Okay, after a bit of relogging, we got that fixed. So, and he's getting some crashes. I'm not sure why. Maybe it must be this instance. So, we're going to need to bring our nice little tube over and put this into slag furnace. We can probably grab the slag furnace and the heating coil from over here and get everything nice and working. So, got the slag furnace, and over here. And where is all the stuff that I don't need? I don't need you, and that's probably not likely. Okay, so the slag furnace, I believe it's similar to other furnace in the fact that it needs to be, well, pulled a certain way. And speaking of which, we should get all of this tubing at least partially connected, even though we don't have the wiring connected. Tubes first, then wiring. And we got our deployer, and it's good. So this is going to be our temporary tube, at least, for our slag furnace. And the wire is going back here, so let's put it over the pool. And how are we going to do this? Over like that, and it's going to use some wire to do so, but it's better than the alternative, which is annoyances for everyone. Yay. Okay, this should be good. Heater right here, and we'll put the slag furnace here, and we'll put the tube coming from out here. So we need to have the tube, bring it over here. Don't worry, I will put some stonework on this once we get everything else situated. But for now, this is going to have to do like that, like this, and bring it up top like so. and we should be able to get all of the nice fun stuff coming out. So another thing that we're going to need to get is to put the project table down here temporarily so we have the sludge going somewhere. And the only thing that's really needed is, well, this is the mixer, so we need the grinder as well. The grinder should go here. So the grinder is done, if I am correct. Yes, I am. We'll take the grinder. Thank goodness it doesn't blow up like some machines that we all happen to know. And we'll have the grinder in and manual stuff for now. So what are the things that require constant redstone ticks? Currently the transposers and all the water work will need redstone ticks to operate. So we're going to have a timer do the redstone ticks. We'll move the project table over here as well so that it's semi out of the way. So timer down, and we're also going to need to make some red alloy wire. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, we're going to need probably 6 alloy ingots. So we should have all the redstone. Hopefully we have the redstone to do so, but we do have the copper to do so, which is also important. So getting all that done, and should be good enough to get stuff situated at least. So let's see. Oh yes, we definitely have enough redstone, and we have enough copper. So let's take the redstone and give it some copper, or take the copper and give it redstone. It's all a matter of opinion, really, and placement and etc. So this will give us the red alloy ingots, but for now we can easily enough set it so that we have some other scruples. Okay, I thought that was a weird placing sound for a second, but it's just my imagination. Okay, so we got some levers. Levi. No, it's not a levy or levy. Those would be bad. Place. Put the timer down. And redstone. Redstone going to here and here. And putting these down as well. And it should connect. Let's see. Okay, that gun. Don't think this actually went, if I'm right, but the sludge went, which is good. And the filter, I don't think it's actually pulling anything, probably because, well, it's not supposed to be working right now. So let's see, does this galvanized chunk actually split into the appropriate parts? Yes, it does. So what's needed then is a transposer to pull the stuff out of. So let's see, the mixer cleans up the stuff, and we're going to need to get the buckets, which we have none of. So buckets we'll place in here for now. Do we have any buckets? Buckets, hello buckets, can you hear me? I probably said that before. 6 buckets, wow. 6 buckets should be adequate, I think. I'm not too sure, at least they stack, so let's try this. So watching, it should get some water buckets. The water buckets are getting pulled, but they have nowhere currently to go. That is because we do not have it wired up to go back to the mixer. So pull that back down. I'm going to need to bring this down to the mixer. And for now, we'll just go like a raw blocks method and put it underneath. I think underneath will put the stuff inside adequately, like so. We'll need some tubes, bring it down. Yep. That is not good. Okay, so do we have, wait, do we even need one? Yes, we do. We need 2 covers. Put the covers down here and here, and we'll put this here. And we'll cover these up. Hey, I said we'll cover these up and put redstone on top of them. Since it is a solid block, it'll work anyways. Okay, water bucket's getting pulled out. Let's see if it goes into the appropriate area. Nope. So that's not the right area. So it might have to get put at the top unless they just don't know where to put the stuff, which is also a possibility. So take this and take this, put it here instead. If this works, we're going to have to... Actually, we don't have to do any fancy wiring. We just have to do this if that were the case. Okay, let's watch. And it's put there. So the only place left for us to try is to put it on top, or rather put it through the top. And I think that'd be the only way for it to successfully work at this point. Otherwise, I'm going to have to find a different method and tactic to do so. A method and a tactic. Wow, Way's getting really ritzy. So, pneumatic tubes. Let's see if the top will actually allow it to get loaded. And also, now that I think of it, that means it might be a problem for this as well. Let's see. Going to need to put this through again. Okay, got pulled. And now that it's actually working, we'll be able to get everything, well, working. So that means this will pull out and it won't be in a good location anyways. So where are all of our other water buckets, I wonder? They must have got sent somewhere into some discarded inventory. So it's not pulling anything from out of there because it is backlogged because there's no place for it to go. That's because this is not a valid inventory. That's because the stuff is going into the water buckets. And that is not going into the water buckets? No. Let's put this as an overflow area. So all the water buckets will go into here. Though that will get pulled as well, which is not something we can really help. So water buckets in here. They'll get pulled when they can. And we'll have it constantly going at a desirable rate. So our clean galvanized chunks can go in there. Now obviously we are out of energy, so we currently can't do anything else. Also, I might as well put this here so that our items will eventually, when they get sent from the grinder, will be able to go to a nice charitable location. So let's see, is Condrick currently in bed? Probably not. No, he is not. So let's brave the night. Hopefully we'll be able to get some non-threatening vocations rather, because I don't think it'd be very happy for anything else to happen. So it keeps on getting fed back into there, which obviously is not a desirable location. So, I doubt it's actually getting fed back into here. There'd be no reason for it to, but we will need some way for it to get buffered. And it's actually working. So the mixer is using such little amount of energy. Or does the mixer even use energy? That is something I don't know. It must be not using energy, or from the residual charge that is currently there. Because this currently is not getting anything, albeit there is no mirror light whatsoever, seeing as all the mirrors are kind of off. But the only other way to test whether everything else is working is to get everything, well, in a desirable location. So this transposer will also be able to place down once we have our wires, which actually our wires should be done to an extent. So let's make some wires quickly. Like so. We'll make that is definitely enough wires for now. We'll just bring this over here, and then we'll have our transposer sucking out items as well. So we'll have this broken, 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 broken. Bring this over instead. Put the wires down. We can probably hide these later. And Condrick must have crashed. That's the only explanation. And over here, not this. And now the items will get pulled out of the transposer. We can probably change this to something else a little better later on. Let's do that. Why not? Let's put all of our fancy little chunks in there. Ooh, I love chunks. And then we'll be okay with that. Also, switching these up. Yes, it does use energy. So I was right. It was just getting stalled. Good, it's not taking anything. And I think this is good. Okay, the light is shining. It seems like we actually, well, will get some power. So it'll take a while for this to warm up and actually get some stuff going. And that must be a little creepy. So, going over here, we can see that nothing's going over here. Nothing at all. We have to watch it. And we're going to have to take some of these water buckets out so that all of those don't block everything. So I put the item detector here so it doesn't actually interfere with anything. So energy is finally flowing through the system. And we'll put that water bucket back into the system. And the silver ore doesn't seem like it's actually grinding up. It actually finally is starting to grind. And we will get some galvanized metal stuff. So all the fun stuff. Is that going at a fast enough rate? Yeah, it's going fast enough. The ticking is going to start getting annoying. So there is an item in factorization that allows us to make some better systems, but it will take a bit of effort for me to, well, figure out how it works for one. Let's see. Factorization stuff's over here. It's not the silver ore nor the crushed obsidian because that'd just be useless. It's the router. So we're going to need a lot of dark iron to get the router, as well as eyes of ender and eggs. So we don't have any ender pearls currently. I think it is 16 or 32. But otherwise, sorry about that. Let's see. This system is working, so we know that. It's not getting clogged up anywhere that I see, but my vision is not exactly the best. So the reduced stuff is going, everything else is working, and now the next part of this is we need to take all of this reduced stuff and change it so that we get another item in the mix, which is the crystallizer. So we just need some string, a cauldron, and a stick for the crystallizer to work, but we also need some sulfuric acid, so we need to make more of that. I think actually we have some sulfuric acid over here, so we might be able to do that. Let's check. 1 bottle of sulfuric acid at my disposal. And we'll put these fancy little doodads away, and let's see. We got the sulfuric acid, we got the cauldron as well, but I don't think we have the string to do anything. String, string, string. If only I had the theory of string. Here we go, we got string. And we're going to need to put away some of the items that we currently have saved up. So the string, cauldron, and our stick. So string, cauldron, and stick, in not exactly saying that right, but anyways, so this is the crystallizer. We take the crystallizer and place it down next to a heater. It only requires an initial amount of heat, then it just goes on by itself. So right here should work. We don't really need to put it next to anything else. Let's orient it so that it's a bit more, I guess there's only one orientation, unless, nope, only one orientation. Then why did you break it again? Gosh, Way. So sulfuric acid here. And we also need to put a bunch of items over here. So if we look at the crystallized stuff, this is how we actually get the crystalline silver and other stuff, by taking the reduced silver chunks, putting it through, and we get crystalline silver. So this is one of the process that we can just throw in and put it so that we have it like so. And I don't think multiple items, say like lead and other stuff, can go in at the same time. That isn't how it works. So this should be good. Now it takes 20 minutes for this process to work. That is a long time, and this stuff I'm not too sure how you get, though the soul shard looks cool, and the crystal core. So this takes 20 minutes for it to all crystallize, and you can see it's starting to crystallize at the bottom right there. So just in case it works, I'm going to just throw some reduced lead in, and if it gets consumed, we know it works. If it doesn't, well, it means it doesn't work, and, well, we have 20 minutes to find that out, and all of the other stuff is getting processed. Everything does seem like it's working. We're not going to run out of water anytime soon, it doesn't seem like. I think this item detector is holding true, and dirty Galenava. What is it? Galena. Dirty Galena gravel is working, so we're getting all that processed. Everything is going. So now we have to think of how to expand this, because currently, well, this isn't the most ideal situation. LRAM has it a bit, well, bigger than I do, and run off with item routers. So we are going to need to make some item routers eventually for when we want to expand this. Though currently we only have the blaze, we don't even have the blaze powder to get all that going. So probably we're going to need to jump in the end to gather some more resources. Probably get the Silk Touch. I might trade a Silk Touch book. So I might actually go off right now and check with one of the people, see if they are interested in Silk Touch, and then I'll be right back. Okay, it seems like Kondrik is a bit interested in this, so at least I'll save that for a rainy day. Let's put a few more reflective mirrors. I don't think that's how it works. Put a few more reflective mirrors down and get this going at a bit more of a speed. Now, I don't think we really have any use currently for the extra speed, though. Let's think of how we can expand this in the meantime. The water system, I believe, is okay. We just need to have some sort of dedicated timer going at the fastest possible interval, and then we'll be okay for there. Now, the mixers, I think we're going to need a big bank, though the only way to manage all of those would probably be through an item router, feeding in all the buckets that will be required. And thus we can use a few other ways to do that. Now, this isn't the cleanest, though I think we can expand upon it. And the slag furnace, yet again, we're going to need to do that as well. So, how's the crystallizer going? Not even close enough to finishing, so I won't even do an estimate on the time that will be done. So let's see if we can do a bit of Thaumcraft research. Currently, I'm getting the thaumium ingots, but that needs a bit more magic. Currently, I don't think I have anything a little magical, and not even a chicken eggs for that permutatio, so I won't be able to do any of that. La 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 la. It looks like I might actually have to go hunting a bit. Maybe go to the blaze rods, or actually go to the end, let's see if I can bring you to the end, because there should be a method to get there. So I'll get rid of some of the useless stuff, rather, some of the valuable stuff I'll put away, and then we'll take a trip to the end and see what's there, since there is already a dedicated portal for that. Okay, we are going to the end, and there are silverfish. And it doesn't seem like there's any silverfish blocks. So, and this is also conquered, so let's just hop into here and have a little fun at it. There are endermen, so we're going to need to be a little extra careful. And there seems to be a fun little machine that Ello must have made, or... I doubt Ello's the only one who made this. Ah, that works well. So let's see. They have some athames here, ender pearls, which has a lot of permutatio. Let's take the athames and have them just stare at us. Come on. Let's see how well this works. Okay, this actually works pretty well, though the endermen, as per usual, are loud and obnoxious. Come on. Come on. I can't even hear myself think. Thank you. Oh, so that's how that works. That's actually pretty good. So, not quite like my end farm, but it's definitely gets the job done now. Doesn't seem like they left any crystals, and I'm not going to touch this egg because that'd be wrong. But let's just jump back in, and then I think we're done here. This theme I will put back. Well, that's all the time we have for this episode of Dragon's Durance. If you like what you see, don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe to future episodes. Jumping into the end. WayofTime here, signing off. Maybe I get to finish my thaumium ingots now. Oh, it's night. Have a wonderful day.